Welcome back. This is Football Made in Ghana for Citi TV. My name is Nathan. So like I promised, we have a very, very interesting personality for the studio inside. Hearts of Oak board member Vincent Sowah Odotei. Chief, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Welcome to Football Made in Ghana.
Thanks so much. I haven't been here before.
Yes, you haven't.
I was wondering when I was coming. Wow, but it's a very lovely place.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, I know there's some football left for Hearts of Oak to play. Of course, the ultimate aim is survival. But from where you sit, how would you rate Hearts of Oak's 26 games played so far?
Well, if you ask me, first of all, thanks for having me. If you ask me, we are disappointed. When you look at Hearts of Oak as an organization, Hearts of Oak as a unit, we have everything in place to be the most successful club in the country. We have everything in place. We have infrastructure. I believe everybody agrees that we had a very good preseason. We recruited almost everybody that everyone thought was the best in the country. But then, so our on-field results is disappointing compared to the investment that we've made.
I see.
So honestly, we are not happy where we are. But well, the league table doesn't lie, so that's where we are.
What would you put it down to?
Well, first of all, let me say that if you are a Hearts supporter and you are listening to me, I believe Hearts and Kotoko, there's one common denominator. Our supporters must begin to catch up with the modern responsibilities of supporters.
Okay.
There's the supporters, management, board, we all have boundaries. And we must respect the boundaries and allow everybody to have their space and take decisions.
Okay.
Football has moved on, completely moved on. The kind of systems that were in place 30, 20 years ago, you can be very, very nostalgic, but that will not survive in this 21st century.
Okay.
I believe that we've been victims of our own internal issues that hasn't allowed, that has conveyed a sort of chaos to our stakeholders, and our stakeholders have taken advantage of it and have more or less brought the Hearts of Oak and Kotoko on their knees. Wow. That is the problem.
I see. We recently had an AGM.
Yes.
Very interesting AGM. I caught snippets of it. What were the biggest takeaways from that gathering? Because you mentioned stakeholders, and that's the meeting that brings all stakeholders concerned with Hearts of Oak together. What were the biggest takeaways from that AGM?
The first thing is that I think everybody should be proud of Hearts of Oak, whether you are a supporter of Hearts of Oak or not, because the AGM we had is akin to what you see on like
what the big corporates
what big companies do, not a football club in Africa. So I think people should. That's the biggest thing people should know, and it actually underscores our intention and where we want to take the club. The next thing is that Alice, the board. Since 2011, where the board was changed, we have some distinguished personalities, statesmen in the country who have come to join the board, and which they were confirmed. So I think that's a very, very big plus, and we hope that they will bring their experience to bear, and whilst we have the peace to really project this club to the preeminence that we seek to attain. And then of course, it was a very well-organized AGM.
Okay.
The fans cooperated. His Ryan and Togbe managed the AGM well. And at least since then, I think in the public, you can see that Hearts of Oak is beginning to have some peace. Okay. And to ensure that we concentrate on our core business of playing football.
You mentioned changes. You got to keep your place on the board.
Yes.
Some people did not. Others got to stay. Some fans seem to be a little displeased. You know, they say that, for example, yourself and others, they don't think that, or they are unhappy you're still around. Now, if a Hearts of Oak fan is watching, what would be your argument to them that says that Vincent Sowah Odotei deserves to be on the Hearts board and he has something to give to this team that will take the team to the next level?
The first issue is that, and I think you journalists should be part of it, I mean, people should not just be sentimental. Why don't you want Honorable Odotei on the board? I mean, what is my crime? Nothing. People forget that until 2021, when I came back from Parliament, when Togbe Apede decided finally that he wanted to be the executive chairman. Okay. The last time Hearts won the league, 2008, that team was where me and Costa Papic.
Okay. I think that has Samuel Afun, and
all,
others.
yeah,
I think
Afun,
Mahatma
SB
too.
Mens, and those players. Yes, we built that team. Has never won the league until I came back from Parliament. Since I came back from Parliament and worked in the office of His Royal and Toby Affiliate, we won the league, we won the FA Cup back to back, we won the President's Cup twice. We've been able to finally develop Pobiman.
Yeah.
We bought a commercial center. We've been able to demolish the old head office, put it up. We have an international alliance with Hoffenheim and Cincinnati. Yeah, so I don't see why, and I'm sure you must see the wisdom why Toby found that no, I still need to be back. What supporters must realize is that I don't think that when Haas doesn't win or when Haas is not doing well, honestly, I don't think they feel it more than those of us who put our money and our time in.
Okay.
Especially when you have the kind of people who are very successful in the private sector, who have ambitions, who want to make sure that Hearts of Oak attains the very success in a sustainably competitive manner.
Okay.
Yeah. So I believe that I've contributed my quota, and I continue. Because remember, all this work that we do, by and large, is sacrificial.
Sacrificial.
Yes, and the only reason we are here, the only reason we stuck together, we believe in the vision of Togbe, and we believe that if we have the peace of mind, everything, the building blocks are in place for Hearts of Oak to re-emerge as a powerhouse in world football.
You mentioned building blocks. Yes, literally, you mentioned the old place at Asylum down. You had to pull it down. You are building a new one. What's the update on that? I've seen this other building that your Hearts of Oak is working from. What's the update? Is the new place ready? Is it functioning and all of that?
It'll be ready in a few weeks' time.
Okay.
That will be the corporate head office of Hearts of Oak. It's the whole project is part to, first of all, to aid in our revenue generation because the first 2 floors are going to be commercialized.
Okay.
The 3rd floor is going to be like a museum of our Hearts of Oak.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, where we're going to have it. So it will also attract tourists. And then the next level will be for the board, for directors.
I see.
So that will be the head office of Hearts of Oak. And then the commercial center, we intend to expand our commercial activities. When you look at our new MD, he has very, very strong commercial background. So that we bring in a lot more, as we call it, non-operational income, because you can't depend on gates. You can't depend on
player transfers and all of those
because things. At the moment, because of the standard of the game, you are not able to transfer players to make huge sums of money. I'm sure you know that.
Yeah.
So the whole plan, the building blocks is to ensure that if we have to attain preeminence, if we have to be competitive in a sustainably competitive manner, we need revenue, non-operational revenue. And we need to make sure that we have the building blocks. We have to compete with the likes of the North Africans and the South African teams. We have to look like a modern club.
Have to look like a modern club.
And we are determined.
I see.
We are determined to do. We want to finish Pobiman. I'm sure you heard what the board chairman said. Once we finish the civil works, we are hoping that the rights issue will bring in revenue. That will change our balance sheet.
Okay.
It's important.
What's the overall plan for that on the rights issue?
Oh, the rights issue is to, I'm sure you understand what it means. Give rights to existing shareholders to put in more money.
Okay.
And then at the moment, we are heavily reliant on debt. We borrow a lot.
Yes.
We borrow a lot. And I'm sure, these days, big clubs across the world, your balance sheet, everything
has to
everything, yeah. So the right is to bring in more money, and then so that to offset our debt, make our balance sheet clean, have some money set to be used to run the club, and to make it financially very, very liquid.
Okay.
Yes, and then also to build a 3-star hotel at Pobiman.
Wow.
Because the Pobiman is not just an academy; it's a sports complex. So that we'll be able to leverage more. Once there's residential accommodation there, at least we can host 4 teams at a time. Our target is to be able to get international teams from Europe who want to play their pre-season here. First of all, of course, the primary thing is we're able to host Cincinnati and Hoffenheim there, and also to ensure that maybe, for example, when the African countries want to play in West Africa, can come and use it. And primarily also to make it available to the GFA and other teams in Ghana, because we have four pitches.
Okay.
4 pitches. Okay. One natural, one artificial, 3 natural. So that's why for the first time we've been able to have our female team, our under 17, our under 20, and the Premier League training in the same place.
I wanted more. I'll come to you, but let me just and this bit of women's football. It's nice to, and when I found out, I was very happy that Hearts had now an affiliated women's team, Oaks FC. You know, you have Mercy Tego. Why that decision? Why has Hearts of Oak decided to have this on board?
Okay, Oaks FC is not an affiliated team. It's a 100% owned by Hearts of Oak.
Okay,
yes.
Wonderful. Why that decision?
Well, it is I'm sure it's a requirement by CAF and FIFA, and even the GFA, as part of the whole broad strategy of FIFA to ensure that football remains the most popular sport, and also for some strategic reasons in Africa, which maybe I don't want to disclose. But it's not a requirement, a prior requirement for every club to have a female team.
How easy or difficult was it, one, to think through the idea of creating one, and two, getting it to go off the ground? Because as I'm seeing from the videos, there's a head coach in place, there are players coming through. How easy or difficult was it getting a head coach and then doing this recruitment of bringing players in?
Well, people like us have been in football for a while. I remember,
so you have your methods.
I remember before I went to Parliament, I put in place the Royal Oaks, and then an Auras to some extent.
Okay.
So we know how to get around it. That's why the first year, maybe that's why people still think we are affiliated. The first year, you remember we were planning to name the Nimobi ladies. Yeah, because we had to buy that, and at that time, the time that we bought it, the name could not be changed. Okay. So we had to adopt it until. So we bought a team with players, and we had an arrangement.
Okay, you bought an already existing team.
Yeah, an already existing team. We had an agreement with them in the first year. Of course, myself and Todd, we know the kind of work we do. So we had some arrangement to ensure that we are able to continue in the second year without necessarily having to start from scratch. Yeah. So the experience we had, myself putting in place Auras back before I went to Parliament, buying a team for Royal Oaks to play in the second division team. We leveraged on that experience, and we did the same thing and thankfully we had a top rate coach, Mercy Tego. So she came on board, and then she helped us put up the management and everything.
To go back a few steps, you talked about your relationship with Cincinnati and Hoffenheim. So far, what has come out of that relationship, and what do you hope to gain more from that going forward?
The Common Value Club Alliance. It's a unique alliance. It's not just about player sales it's a complete thing that talks about knowledge sharing, talent development, corporate social responsibility, and joint business. As I'm speaking to you now, as I'm speaking this week, we are going to benefit from, Hoffenheim is the most scientific football club in the world. Yeah. That's why you see all these new young coaches coming through. They all went through that. We are going to benefit from that from next season, from their scientific approach in every aspect. Okay. In every aspect of developing talent. And when you talk of talent is not just about the players, it's about administration, staff, and everything. Cincinnati, we hope that we'll be able to take some of our players who want to have other pathways in football to go to Cincinnati to learn. Okay. And then come back. We've had talks where, as I speak to you now, in the next few weeks, the whole technical team of Cincinnati and Hoffenheim are going to be in Hearts of Oak to do some analysis to see how to ensure that the three clubs get the same level in terms of management. Yes. I'm sure you know Salim Adams benefited from that. Yes. We are required to take a certain number of players to Cincinnati every year as part of the thing. I see. And then take our staff to train in Hoffenheim. Yeah. So it's not just the normal collaboration. It's a whole thing to impact society. Of course, at the heart of it is football. So it's a whole thing to impact society, knowledge sharing, talent development, corporate social responsibility, and joint business. Yeah, so we are hoping that very soon, we think that there could be a joint business that Cincinnati or Hoffenheim has shares shares in there. I'm sure that's going to happen shortly, and I'm sure we'll make some announcement very soon about something that.
It's in the pipeline.
Something that is in the pipeline with Cincinnati, and people will be shocked by it.
I see.
We are collaborating in every aspect of it because we believe that football, definitely, ultimately, is about 3 points on Sunday, but football goes beyond just the 3 points on Sunday. But that 3 points you must get that 3 points in a sustainably competitive manner. So that is. We are very happy with the Common Value Club Alliance.
All right, wonderful. Well, let me bring you back in. Let's talk about some Hearts of Oak numbers. Abubakar Rattar came in not too long ago. Some of the results have been really good. I mean, from a statistical perspective, what have you seen in his tenure? And then I can ask, Honorable, what he has made and why that decision. I will come to that, but from a numbers perspective, what can you tell us?
Of course,
Hearts
yes.
of Oak under Ouattara.
Of course. So Hearts of Oak under Ouattara, he took over from Martinos Koopman, who parted ways with the team. Of course, I told you that one of the teams that did huge signing this season, Hearts of Oak. Of course, in terms of experience, Ampedu has been consistent from Liberty to Legon Cities. Liberty's attack. In fact, last season per numbers, he was one of the best left backs. Then the two centre backs, David Opoanfrani. Of course, he was part of the U23. Not just part, he was a starter of the U23, but plays for King Faisal. Then you talk about Kofi Agbesima. 3 seasons as a captain of Bechem United, of course. So in terms of
that's high level quality.
In fact, so I at a point in time said, until you put a ball at the back of Hearts of Oak's net, then you are a good team. Of course, based on the players they signed. But when he took over, Martinos, he didn't give that consistent results. Then Ouattara took over from what was happening in the first round. The second round, he started very well until he lost the 3 consecutive games. But that is a warning to him. For me, I think he's a good coach, but he maybe when the season ends, he should be given enough time to steady the team, build the team for success.
Honorable, why that decision? It came as a bit of a shock to me personally. Hearts of Oak had looked around. You went to Cote d'Ivoire, I believe, and then you found why that decision? Why that decision? Why did you decide to make that move?
Well, we felt that when you look at all the building blocks, what was missing in the puzzle was a coach with a proven track record.
Okay.
A proven track record, someone who has proven that he can deliver, someone who has worked at the highest level on the African continent. And we felt that Ouattara fits the bill when you look at his CV, where he's worked, the success he's achieved. That was why we had to travel. Actually, Cote d'Ivoire was the last time we chased him around Africa, yes.
You chased him around?
Yeah, to bring him to Hearts of Oak.
I see. Interesting. And what have you made from one, a fan's perspective, and two, as a management member's perspective? What have you made of his output so far? We
are extremely delighted to have him in our team.
Okay.
Beyond just coaching on the pitch, Ouattara brings to board huge experience in management of football, huge experience understanding of the business of football, and huge experience on how to collaborate with team owners with all levels of a football club.
Okay.
We are extremely happy with him, and it is our hope that we'll be able to maintain him for a very long time. We know why we lost the three matches, and we believe that we are going to fix it.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, but we believe that we've identified the weakness, and it's something that we'll fix.
Let's digress slightly. I'm going to ask your opinion on Dreams FC. I ask because they are in a competition Hearts of Oak won in 2005, the CAF Confederation, the debut one, the maiden one. So yes. Hearts are in this very respectable place, right? They are in this place of honor. When you look at Dreams and the fact that they are flying the flag for Ghana and all of that, what should they take away from this experience? What should this competition mean to them? Because like I said, Hearts of Oak have won it before. So as a club, what should they take away from this journey that they are on? They are in a very unique position, the only Ghanaian team left in an African competition. What can they take away from this? And what should inspire them to probably achieve what some people believe is impossible?
As a business strategist, I believe that the payoff that they've got for reaching this far should be, they should leverage on that.
Okay.
To be able to move Dreams not just a Daewoo team, but a team that want to go back to where to the CAF competitions because of the door that has opened for them.
Okay.
It's up to them to use the money they've got and to ensure that they go back. Well, once you've tasted that kind of success, it's something that you want to go. So if I were in their management, that's the first thing I'll be looking at. How to utilize the money, the inflow that has come in. Secondly, the Dreams team, what they are doing now shows, and it's a lesson to everyone. Football is about teamwork. They don't have big stars. They don't have the kind of stars that you mentioned here, but it's about teamwork. It's a unit that have played together. It's let me be honest, they surprised me.
I see.
I didn't think they would get this far. But it's a unit that has played together. They stick to the basics, and that's what football is about. So I think their takeaway is that they should do more of what they are doing in terms of their team build-up, in terms of their scouting. But then they must, now that they have some inflow, I mean, is it 750,000 USD?
It's a lot of money.
In Ghana, when you have that kind of money,
that's
you
a
should
lot.
be able to use it to as a leapfrog the curve.
Okay.
You know, if they are at the moment, if they are developed organically, they should be able to use that money to leapfrog the curve and to move Dreams to an established Premier League club and maybe an established a presence on the African continent.
For Heart of Oak, when you see this, I'm sure it inspires you to want to get back to that level.
Definitely. I mean, it just not just inspires you. We don't need that inspiration. It's sometimes annoying. I must be honest. I mean, when we look at the investment we've made in the club, when we look at everything that we're doing, the kind of time and effort we put in, the kind of thinking, you have no idea what we put into Hearts of Oak. We have absolutely no idea what we try to do. But then again, it makes us more determined. Now, I think we have some peace, and I hope that every supporter listening to me will come to understand that it's essential in this modern day. If we want Hearts of Oak to regain its lost glory, you must go through a process of developing the team, changing the culture. We need a huge cultural change in Hearts of Oak. We need the Hearts and Kotoko. The time when supporters felt that they took operational decisions for the club must change. That cannot happen.
Okay.
More so with a club that's listed on the stock exchange. You are talking about Hearts and Kotoko. Maybe we seem to be more stable because of the direction we've taken. Maybe they also have to look at their ownership structure, but that's their matter. So, for example, they were calling for AGM. AGM is a requirement by the Security and Exchange Commission.
I see. For a company that's listed, you need to have an
publicly
AGM.
held. You have to go through that. And so the kind of things we look at, we are looking at our books, we are looking at our balance sheets, we are looking at our P&L, profit and loss accounts and those things. Maybe in Ghana football, these things are alien. But the path we've taken, these are the things we need to look at. We need to bring in more people. When you talk about management is about bringing professionals to head the functional areas of the club.
Yeah.
I hope you understand. Other things which are non-scientific, they are part of football. But when you talk about management, it doesn't mean, because honestly,
You need people with skill.
we need people with skill, people who understand, and the kind of level of investment we are doing. We need people who will come in and see how we can make money, so that we stop relying on debt. So I will appeal to them. I mean, when you look at Dreams FC, even not just Dreams FC, look at the teams that are playing the CAF Champions League, even the CAF Cup. You look at Hearts of Oak, you wonder, why are we not there?
Yeah.
We have to be there. And that's why, remember, when Wydad won the Champions League 3 years ago,
3 years.
they were Hearts of Oak were only team to beat them.
Yeah, it's true.
And their coach, before he went to the Moroccan Cup, the team he lost is only Hearts of Oak. So why are we here? So please, at least now after the AGM, there's peace. We are working well with the supporters. Let's give ourselves, all ourselves, the chance to ensure that at least we bounce back well next season.
I see. Mo, final word. What Hearts of Oak's next game? Who are they taking on?
Heart of Oak would be moving out to go and play in an away fixture.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I want to ask it very important.
Just quickly.
Yeah, a quick question. Samatex and Nations FC are chasing for the league title. They are on top of the league because they have that home venue that they don't battle any issues. Heart of Oak this season have
They've
to go
moved
to
around,
Kumasi. What are the plans in place to get them a stadium so that at least they can be stable at one venue?
Honorable.
Well, I think ultimately as part of our strategy, I'm sure we've made it clear, we intend to build our own stadium. But we will start with one of the pitches in Pobiman. We are going to convert into what we call the mini stadium.
Okay.
Maybe 5,000 to 6,000 seater stadium.
I see.
Where, yes, that's part of the plans. Not in the short term, but in the short, medium term, this is something we want to achieve very quickly.
Okay.
So that we will not fall prey to non-reliance on the national stadium where we can. So that it is a key thing that we are doing. When you enter Pobiman, the first pitch on the left is going to be that will be our mini stadium. We don't just talk big. We trust me. We want to take the step towards that.
All right. Honorable Vincent Sowah Odotei, thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Mo Shaban, thank you. And thank you others for watching. This is Football Made in Ghana for Citi TV. My name is Nathan.